Hello and welcome to another video of Holton Talks. Today it's just me and Jamie. You alright, Joe?
Oh, good man. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just looking, looking at last night's game against Arsenal. Villa end their 11-game winning streak at the Emirates. Thoughts on the game, Joe? To start off with.
I'll try and go over it quick, so obviously we'll dissect it as we go on. But first off, I was happy. And then second half, just losing Onana just completely killed us.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, but I think he did pick up a little injury, didn't he, before the half time?
Yeah.
So I don't think it. I don't think it was tactical from memory.
Oh no.
I thought, to be honest with you, I thought McGinn would come on early in the second half, or either Buendia or Sancho. But yeah, losing Onana because in the first half he's probably one of our better players. He made a couple of runs through the midfield. So big blow. We go through the goals one by one. Obviously, the first goal, I did put on the WhatsApp group last night that Martinez needs to be stronger, but I've actually watched it back, and there is an elbow from Gabriel.
Mm.
I don't know if it was enough to do what Emmy did, because you clearly heard him call for the ball. I don't know if you did, but I did.
Yeah.
You could hear him call for the ball. And it did look like he had it in two hands at one point, but not that Gabriel knocked it out, but I think he might have just not had it in control properly. What did you think? Because also leading to that corner, it was a blatant offside that the linesman didn't give either,
Yeah, I thought it was clear offside as well.
which led to the corner. So two things to dissect in the first goal: the offside and obviously Emi Martinez. Your thoughts? Foul? Not foul?
I don't know. I feel like if it was the other way around, we'd be saying for the keeper to be stronger. But I can see the argument of there is an elbow, because no matter how big you are and how much you weigh, if you've got a solid elbow going into your chest, you're not going to be able to generate. You can't move forward. If that elbow ain't up, he's coming up and claiming it. So I can see why people are saying foul. But I feel like I think you had Leeds and obviously and last night. I don't know if there's another one that I'm missing where he's been poor from set pieces, where he used to, generally speaking, he is a very commanding goalkeeper. But like I said, Leeds away and last night, he always appeals for something as well. Even the Leeds one, he went down. He went down. I don't know if he was holding his face, but he went down holding something, and it's so light. But I can see the argument for a foul.
Wasn't it
But
Bezo against Leeds?
no, Emmy was
Weren't
against.
it Bezo against Leeds?
No,
Was it Emmy?
The Bezo's mistake was Brighton away.
Brighton.
Leeds
Yeah,
was
Brighton.
Emmy.
Yeah.
But
The thing that I don't understand with this, right, and I don't know what you think. If he gives that as a foul, VAR don't overturn that.
I know, and that's the
In my
problem.
eyes.
I've said it for years. That's the problem with VAR, that they give too much responsibility for the ref, and that the ref just, if the ref don't blow, because it's here or there. If the ref don't blow, they won't overturn it. But if the ref does blow up for a foul, they're not going to say it. They're going to say it was a foul. That's what I struggle with. Do you know what I mean? Like if he blows up foul, they'll say there was an elbow in there. But if they don't, and yeah, it's just the trouble with refs and VAR. I think you're always going to have it.
Yeah, it's also we got this technology VAR. Yeah, he's clearly offside from before the award of the corner. Do you not think we should be introducing stuff like that? If the ball goes out for a corner and VAR has clearly seen that he's offside, then it obviously, if it just fizzles out from like a goal kick or it goes into Emmy's hands, it's fine. It carries on, but he's clearly offside when that ball gets played for the corner. If that makes sense,
Yeah,
it just
maybe you
baffles me.
could, maybe so, but where do you draw the line? Because you're going to keep getting stoppages. I think that could work if it is, again, a blatant call where you don't need to draw the lines. But when you have to get the lines out, that's what takes the time. I feel like if they can with their technology clearly see that he's offside, then yeah, then you can quickly pull it back. Otherwise, you don't want to keep stopping play when someone's about to take a corner if you don't know if they're on or offside, if that makes sense. So I feel like if it's like a blatant offside, yeah, quickly pull it back. But I think when it gets to the point they're drawing up lines,
Yeah,
obviously
but from
they.
yeah, so I mean, from corners, it's not like a throw-in where you take it quickly. Do you know what I mean? It takes 10 seconds to get the team set. Do you know what I mean? So in that
Yeah,
instance, if it was like an offside call, it doesn't take long if it's like very clear and obvious just to say that was offside. If do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But yeah, for me, Emmy does need to be stronger, and I don't know if it's just because it's Emmy, but he seems to be going from corners that we can see. He just wants to fight the defenders, like push them out of the way. And I understand he's got to try and make space for himself, but it's I just don't know why he does it. And I think he's drawing attention to the referees as well, because pretty much from every corner he goes down, even if it's not a foul.
yeah. And I think as well going forward, teams will realise that you can just shove two men on Emmy, and he's gonna like because you saw Chelsea away and now Arsenal back-to-back games where he's
Mm,
caught tussling with the players. That's the tactic going forward. You can just put it on Emmy's head and put a couple players in and around him. Obviously, I'm sure they'll find a way to. Austin
yeah,
McPhee will find a way to combat that. Whether that be again have because you only really have one man on the goalkeeper, but on Saturday against Chelsea they had Enzo as well, and no one was with him because obviously we do the half zonal, half man marking. So maybe it might be the case of anyone who's on Emmy,
yeah.
just make sure we have another man, even if it's drawing someone off a post, to stop Emmy being so obsessed with who's next to him. Maybe that's a way of getting through it. But yeah,
Yeah, say that it's a killer goal as well. Seeding that first goal was a killer goal.
yeah.
Moving on to the second one, I think was it Sancho gave the ball away off the top of my head.
It got played into him, but to me, Sancho has does more in midfield. He doesn't have control of the ball, but it's a loose-ish ball coming in. But I think I can't remember who won it. It might have been Zubimendi actually who scored, but someone won it. But Sancho needs to be a bit more on the money to try and get there. He didn't really look like he wanted it.
No, but so the second goal, so it was to be fair, it was a good finish by Zubimendi, and no qualms from the officials on that one. Uh, Moving on to the third one, I think it was Mike Dean I've heard who's actually said that he's offside.
No,
So they checked both offsides, but for some reason we
no, as I lost you there, I think. Your audio gone, is it? Oh no, you're back.
no, there we go.
What happened there?
So yeah, so so from the third goal, they've checked two offsides. We haven't seen any other lines, and it was just baffling why we didn't see the lines. They were both tight calls, but good finish by good finish by Arsenal in the end. To be fair to him, but what was your take on the offside calls?
Yeah, I mean, initially I thought both were offside, but again, it's just a bit bamboozling how they've looked at both, and then yet Mike Dean, who's obviously the main speaker for him, has come out and said that it is offside. So it is confusing, but it's just rep. At the end of the day, refs in this country, there's always going to be something about them. They're never. We have the worst refs, and I don't know. They've always said for years about having a player. It's more for fouls, to be fair, but having a player in like the VAR kind of scene where they can say, look, you can see he's looking for the foul there. So you get some players that like are looking for the foul and they'll go down easy, like how Jack used to do that at Villa, for example. If VAR are looking at that for a
Yeah,
possible red card, like a second yellow, or whatever it may be, I don't know, or a penalty. If you've got someone in there that can turn around and be like, look, he's done that, he's knowing that there's going to be contact there, and he's purposely gone down when he has grass to run into, instead of giving a penalty, they look at it from that perspective. That could work, but in terms of like offsides and stuff, because that is literally black and white, I still struggle to find how they get them wrong. And you got obviously the main speaker for the refs saying one thing, and then you got the decision, which is the other. So someone's got to be wrong, and yeah, it's just the refs are. I still think that refs need to come out and talk after games how Because imagine after United away, if the ref came out and gave his reason as to why he disallowed Roger's thing, because it'll make him look like a right mong. Do you know what I mean? But that's just not what they want. But everyone else
Yeah.
gives interviews, so why can't they? I think that is something they need to introduce, because I think
Uh,
I think it's the next stage. Because yeah, I just hate all refs. I won't lie, mate. I hate them all.
yeah, I'm not using it as an excuse for why we lost the game yesterday because the second half we were poor, but
I
there
think
was just
Arsenal
some
stepped
decisions
up as
that,
well. I think Arsenal in that second
yeah,
half. I think losing Onana, having the injuries and the suspensions we had, even though they had obviously they had no Rice, who's their best player as well, but they completely controlled that midfield. Obviously, again, coincided with Onana going off and no Boober in there, but they they absolutely dominated the midfield that second half, and they ran us over really. So credit to them. They played really well.
yeah, yeah, they did. Second, so first half, I thought we looked good, and for some reason in my head, I thought we always play shit first half and good second half at the moment, and we had a good first half, and I thought, what's going to happen second half, especially with the bench that we actually had last night, which was so young. And then obviously the fourth goal goes in. I think the players sort of gave up after 3-0 personally, which I didn't like to see, but
I think that's why.
it
Sorry to
was,
cut you up, Az. I think that's why he brought
that's
in the
right.
youngsters, because the youngsters are.
Yeah,
We always used to say it when we were bad, like when we had like the young team of like Bannon, etc., and Westwood and stuff. I remember we always used to say that. I remember your old man used to say, "Oh look, just give the kids a go because they'll be fearless." Like it's the same thing.
yeah,
Like last night. You know, if you put a ball over the top, Jim Loba's going to run onto it. You know, if a ball's in the air, Hemmings is at least going to try to do it because they're fearless. They're young kids. You know what I mean? So that's why I think he went for it
yeah,
last night. But
yeah,
in the sense of the whole giving up thing, I think that's where you have to credit like Marlon, for example, because that goal that we scored,
for the goal,
come,
yeah,
it comes just from him, solely him, with sheer determination. And yeah, like,
yeah.
it's hard because
It,
if you look at the team we've had this season, I know Mings has played his part and stuff, but if you talk core players this season, out of the way at the Emirates ain't lost all season. You've got no at the end of the like most of the game. You've got no Onana, no Booba, no Cash. There was another one in there as well.
Torres,
No
Mings,
Torres, yeah, no Mings. Obviously, Bob Barkley was hitting good form and he got injured as well. Like these are players that would have been in the squad, and it's like they're not there. And plus the like even just the players we've lost in the summer, like even like Bailey, JJ, like these players that we have to get rid of. It's well, our hands are tired at the end of the day, and the injuries and suspensions don't help. So when we don't have that quality on the pitch, we're bound to get overrun. Do you know what I mean? We're bound to get absolutely battered. Like
yeah.
imagine if the team
Did
we
you?
ended with. Oh, go on.
No, I was to say, I don't know if Sky Sports annoyed me at the start when they were talking about the game before the game, and they were mentioning like how many injuries Arsenal have had this season. Like it's a massive doubt that Rice is out, and then they came to us now like, "Oh, Villa are just missing Cash and Kamara." And I'm thinking, well, Torres is injured, Mings is injured, Barkley's injured. Like you're not going to mention all them. It just annoyed me a little bit because we've literally got our fourth centre back choice playing. Kamara, who's our best like holding midfielder's not playing. Do you know? And it just annoyed me. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I don't think just because we're not like one of the fucking so-called big six, they talk about our injuries as much. You know what I mean? It just annoyed the hell out of me, even before the game. That's
Yeah.
all I was going to say.
No, it's a fair point. It's a fair
It
point because
was
they
so.
always talk about injuries.
At least we got exactly. At least we did obviously get on the score sheet. Like you said, Marlon done very well. McGinn should have scored just before that. God knows how he's even missed that. You always got to do is just tap it to the left hand side of the goal. But it was just one of them games where it was a free hit for us, really, wasn't it? If we win, we're level on points with the leaders, and if we lose, we do you know what I mean? We lose. But the main thing is obviously Chelsea drew yesterday, Man United drew yesterday. Obviously Liverpool don't play till tomorrow. So we still got 7 points now to Liverpool, and I think they got a game in hand.
We got 7 points to Liverpool and we got 9 to United and Chelsea.
Mm.
Yeah.
And Liverpool got a game in hand, so It's when you lose like that, it's all about how you react in the next game to me. So it'll be interesting. Obviously Saturday against Forest, who I think lost their last three now, is it? Forest after a decent
They were
start on the
bad
Dyche. They lost
last
again
night.
last night.
Yeah, obviously, I was watching the Villa game, but they were, from just reading some stuff
Mm.
online, they were bad. I don't know what's happened to Douglas Luiz, but they do not like Douglas Luiz. I don't know. He
Don't
was
rate him
literally
at all, do they?
he was literally our best player when he left. I don't know what's happened. He
Yeah.
might just be a system player. He might just be a system player. You
Yeah.
get players like that, but yeah, don't know what's happened to him. Really don't.
God knows. And just one more thing on the Arsenal game. Moreno sending off. How is that not a red card? May I ask you?
See, my problem is that they say they have a higher threshold for a second yellow than in like the first original booking. But what I hate is that he's done that foul, but it is if that happens 2 seconds later and it's McGinn doing it, he gives a booking. So for me personally, if it's a booking, it's
Yeah.
a booking. If it's not, it's not. If you kick, do you remember
Mm.
when Rice got sent off at home to Brighton last year? He got sent off for like kicking the ball away a
Kicking the
touch.
ball.
That
Yeah.
they gave it as a second booking. That's not a higher threshold for a second booking than the first booking, but it's just a booking. If someone commits a foul like that, it's a booking. It should be a second yellow. But an interesting question I want to throw back your way: if McGinn or Tielemans, I'll use Tielemans for example. If Tielemans is on a second yellow, a yellow, and he does that, what Moreno did, in my opinion, Tielemans walks. But what I've told
Yeah,
you,
my,
I've
I'm the
told you
same.
for
I'm the
years,
same.
I've told you for years about how corrupt this league is, and because it's a Big Six team, they won't do it. And staying on the whole corruption side of it, for anyone that's like, "Oh, Jay, you're being a bit over your head." What did I send in to you, the Villa chat yesterday morning or the night before, talking about? I think it was Damien Vidagani tweeted that we had to travel down to London twice in less than
Yeah.
72 hours or something along those lines. And then if you go across the traditional Big Six teams, the money makers of the league, really. So the teams that bring in the most revenue for the Prem. Four of them
All
were at
two home
home.
games.
Four of them were at home, and the two that were away are City and Spurs. But
New
City and
Year's Day.
Spurs both play New Year's Day, so
Yeah.
it frustrates me so much that
Yeah. I think
that
it
right
was.
there is no, go on.
I saw BBC did like after Embry mentioned it in his press conference. BBC, some lady done like a thing. Why aren't we playing all 19 teams first before
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
facing other teams second?
the Forest. Yeah,
And then she was like, it's more to do with like the travel commitments over Christmas and stuff like that. And you're thinking, why don't you give us a way to Forest that's an hour up the road? Rather, do you know what I mean? Forest is closer than Arsenal, so it made no sense at all. But it's not. I don't think it's one to dwell on. To be honest with you, it's just one of them things, isn't it? They just, and I do agree with you. There is some corruption in the Premier League. Obviously, that's
I'm
not why
not
we
saying
did
as well.
lose.
It's
Yes,
not
yeah.
solely
No, I agree
refs.
with you.
Yeah, it's not solely refs, but you can see decisions
It's
like
the way
again.
everything's planned.
I'll bring up United last season. If that's Bruno Fernandes going through, they let it play. They let it play.
Yeah,
And I've said it multiple times in this podcast. For a team, for example, like Spurs or United or whoever, or any of the big six teams, especially United, they need them to be as high up the league as possible because they by far bring in the most money for the Premier League because United are massive. They're the biggest club in England, like size wise with fan base being the predominant factor. They're massive. If United got relegated and Burnley won the Premier League, and then United are in the Championship and Burnley are competing in the Champions League, and you've got Liverpool mid-table and City Europa League or whatever, and you've got I don't know Southampton and us in the Champions League. Do you know how much eyes the Premier League would lose? But they know that, and they need these teams to stay at the top. And I'm saying it's not every week you see these things because City get things disallowed. All teams get things disallowed, but when we play against the big teams, it always feels like we have our one hand tied behind our back, and it's like that off the field with PSR and the travel bullshit. but on the
Yeah.
pitch, it feels like a lot of the times we're against 12 men. And yesterday was another factor of that. And again, I'm not saying we lost because of the ref. Arsenal fully deserved to win there, miles better than us. Just how I think we deserved to win at a few weeks ago at home at Villa Park. But the decision to not send off Moreno, was that a 0-0 or 1-0 or 2-0 maybe? I can't remember what phase of the game it was.
It was either one. It was either 1-0 or 2-0.
But that but that
1-0
there
or 2-0.
but that there that could change the game. You know, if he gets sent off,
Yeah.
we're on the front foot because they'll just naturally sit in. Anything could happen. Like we were 2-0 down last season and got back to get a point. Brighton were
Yeah.
2-0 down and ended up winning, scoring 4 goals at their place. It's like, I'm not saying we would have gone on to win, but if it was flipped and that was McGinn doing that, McGinn is 100% getting a second booking. And it's just annoying because it feels like all the time we're talking about how bad these refs are. But it's just stupid. It's pathetic, really, some of these refs in this league.
Yeah. And it's funny because I do listen to other fans, and pretty much every single fan's exactly the same about these referees. Like the refereeing standard at the moment in England is just, it's fucking terrible. Like,
But as did you realise, yeah, that predominantly the fans moaning about the refs. I get all fan bases have a leg to stand on, but whenever I go online or Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, or Instagram, Facebook, you look at these things. Predominantly, they're fans from not the so-called big six clubs. They're from us, Newcastle. Like there'll
yeah,
be Leeds, West Ham, Forest, Palace. We get
yeah,
shafted every week because like it's even Palace now. Palace, their bubble's going to burst. They can't. They can only do so much because of the rules that are set, and it's like we can only do so much unless we go on to win a Premier League and win stuff to catapult us into a new stratosphere. We're always going to stay at the same level because that's what they want. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, how can Chelsea spend £1
yeah.
billion
Uh,
and we've spent 31 million, but yet we're still competing together, and we beat them last Saturday from that spent. And it's like they spent 250 million quid in the summer, and we're here spent 31 million net, I think. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, it's not fair how it works.
no, and I did see how you said Newcastle. I can't remember what it was on. It was either Facebook or Instagram. Someone else, another Villa fan, put it on. I think it was a Newcastle fan who put a picture of the Martinez, the first goal. And then I think it was a picture from last season that Newcastle had a goal disallowed for pretty much the same sort of incident. And I can't remember who it was against now. It was someone like Man City or Liverpool.
There's just no consistency.
Um, exactly. But anyway, rant over about corrupt
Yeah, I
Premier
know. I
League.
reckon I'm about to take this jumper off. Go fight them.
But so on the whole, over the whole 90 minutes, Arsenal were the better team. So no quibbles there. I would go on about their fans, but I haven't got another half hour to waste, I'm afraid.
I
Um,
know. If you get me started on their fans, like, but like, I only say a little thing here. They always go on about how like Little Villa or whatever this, yeah. But they celebrate a win over us like a cup final. Do you not understand? And they'll throw in our
mm,
face while you do the same thing. But if we're Little Old Villa, we're not in the same category. Do you know what I mean? If we're beating arguably the best team in Europe, the whole world, if we're beating this team and we've spent little in the summer and they've spent so much in the summer, why can't we celebrate it? And it's like they're mocking us, and it's like if you're at Villa's level, then we ain't won a trophy. We haven't won a trophy in 30 years. Do you know what I mean? You're in the same position as us. Do you know what I mean? It's like you
mm,
shouldn't be beating Villa at home to Arsenal where they are at the minute. I know we're doing really well, but if you just look at the stature and the financial backing behind it, they should beat us last night and then walk on. They'd be like, okay, yeah, another day in the office. It's not like they've just beaten Man City at home, even though we are third and we're tight with them, but they're
mm.
giving it the big one. It's just like, don't forget 3-4 weeks ago when we turned you over. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're level for these points right now. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just mad, to be fair. One last bit of good news I would say, I don't know if you saw, but
Go on.
Allison from Gramero, he put his during the game last night. He
Good.
posted his like goodbye video to
Yeah, I
Romero,
see that.
and it's basically done for. I think it's
Yeah,
10 million euros or 10 million pound with an additional 2 million
yeah. I
in
think.
add-ons.
Well, yeah,
So I don't
yeah. So
know.
I haven't seen. I haven't seen much about him, but he is a wonder. He is a wonder kid on Football Manager. I will
There you
say
go.
that.
So he's bound to do all right. But obviously, I don't know. I don't know
But then,
how it will work with like because I'd imagine all the paperwork's done already. Apparently, all the documentation's done. So I'm hoping January 1st, well tomorrow or maybe the day after we announce him. Who knows? He might even be in the matchday squad for Forest because we are that light. We are so light at the minute. He might even be
yeah,
involved in that because especially with no Gassond as well. But all I will say, obviously, I don't know if we'll do a separate video maybe talking about him, but we just have to give the guy time. He's young. Give him this half season. Give him the preseason, and then see how he kicks on next year. Do you know what I mean? It's like if he gets it and he gets tackled straight away by trying to beat a guy, like that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Imagine like we saw Rodgers weren't nothing special when he first came in. Duran, you could see like with
no,
Rodgers and Duran, they had something. You know, we're going to see if the kid has something. You just have to give him time. It's like Garcia weren't great at all last night. Garcia was bad when he came on, but he's been injured and he's played for Villa for less than a year. Give the guy time. Do you know what I mean? He got injured in pre-season. Give him more. Give him again this season. Give him a full pre-season where he's not fit, and then see what he's like. You know, it's the same thing with this Allison coming in. You know, I like the mold we're going down. The new guy, I forget his name. Our new guy basically that takes control of signings, not completely, but the recruitment aspect of it. He loves South
yeah. I
American.
can't remember.
Yeah, he. I think the Italian one. He loves South American potential, basically. So I don't think this is going to be the last one. Hopefully, we see coming from South America. But I like the fact we're dipping into this market because these are the. If we didn't sign him, I can guarantee he would have because he was on the radar of other clubs. But I can guarantee you that another club would have signed him, and it would have been a what if. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I do. Right, we will wrap it up there. Should be another video out before the Forest game. Looking ahead of the Forest game. And maybe if we sign Allison before then, we can do a bit on that video about him. Not that we know much about him anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will see you soon. And up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
Thank you.